Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for August 24th. August 24th is the 236th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 237th in leap years, with 129 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is fibula. Fibula is a noun, and it refers to a couple of different things. One is a brooch, clasp, or pin, typically used to fasten garments, typically at the right shoulder. The plural form of this word is fibulae. So singular is fibula, F-I-B-U-L-A, and plural is F-I-B-U-L-A-E. Fibulae were based on the safety pin principle. They were designed not only to be decorative, but practical in fastening clothing like a cloak. The other thing that fibula refers to is the outer and usually smaller of the two bones between the knee and the ankle in humans, or the equivalent anatomy in other terrestrial vertebrates. As a bone, the fibula runs parallel to the tibia. So tibia and fibula, they're siblings, I guess you could say, sibling bones. The word fibula comes from Latin for brooch, like a pin brooch, likely related to the Latin word for to fix. Interesting to note that the leg bone fibula got its name because the shape it makes with the tibia resembles a clasp, with the fibula being the pin. Alrighty, with that, we're going to start on August 24th in the year 410, when Visigoths began pillaging Rome. This is the birthday of Sophia Brahe, born August 24th, 1559. She was a horticulturalist with knowledge of astronomy, chemistry, and medicine, and the sister of Danish astronomer Tycho Brahe. Sophia lived to the age of 83 or 84. Sometimes their public records were not quite as accurate as the ones we keep today. On August 24th, 1692, William Penn received the area that is now the state of Delaware and added it to his colony of Pennsylvania. The modern Constitution of the Netherlands was signed on August 24th, 1815. It was August 24th, 1857 that the Panic of 1857 began, setting off one of the most severe economic crises in United States history. You hadn't heard about that one, had you? I only learned about it myself within the last couple years. Anyway, here it is on this day in history. The actual downturn itself didn't last all that long, but it took a long time to fully recover from it. Hate it when that happens. On August 24th, 1873, an esoteric mystery of the Old West was solved when the first photograph was taken of the Mount of the Holy Cross in Colorado. Stories of the natural snow cross had circulated amongst settlers of the West for years and were the subject of much debate. Ultimately, photographer William Henry Jackson embarked on an expedition with the sole purpose of finding the Mount of the Holy Cross and succeeded in capturing the unique formation on film for the first time ever, thus proving its existence. This is the birthday of American race car driver Roger McCluskey, born August 24th, 1930. He drove Indy-style cars, NASCAR, and so on. He lived to the age of 63. We've all known that Adolf Hitler was involved in a lot of really awful stuff, right? One of his programs was basically a mass murder in the form of what he called involuntary euthanasia. He actually referred to these as mercy deaths for anyone who was considered to have an incurable illness. This included handicapped people and people who were hospitalized with mental illness. As you might imagine, people complained about this, such that on August 24th, 1941, he ordered the cessation of the systemic euthanasia program, although killings did continue for the remainder of the war. Maybe I should ask Google how to pronounce that.
How do you go about pronouncing his name? Paulo Coelho.
Coelho.
Paulo Coelho. Pretty straightforward once you know. Paulo Coelho.
Google is so smart. This is the birthday of Brazilian author Paulo Coelho, born August 24th, 1947. He wrote, among other things, a book titled The Alchemist. This looks like a pretty interesting book. It's a quest, adventure, fantasy novel. I may have to look that one up and read it myself. I haven't yet, but it looks pretty interesting. He gets to meet Melchizedek, or the fictional character does anyway. All right, so blah, blah, blah. Paulo Coelho. The treaty creating the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, went into effect on August 24th, 1949. On August 24th, 1950, a woman named Edith Sampson became the first black U.S. delegate to the United Nations. This is the birthday of American minister and politician, 44th governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee, born August 24th, 1955. Oh my goodness, this is the birthday of baseball great Cal Ripken Jr., born August 24th, 1960. He played for the Baltimore Orioles his entire career and was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2007 with a 98.53% vote on the first ballot. Now, if you've been watching me for very long, you may have heard me say that not everyone gets into the Hall of Fame on their first vote. And it's even more rare that anyone gets in with 100% vote. So a 98.53% vote is quite remarkable. Cal Ripken. Happy birthday, Cal Ripken. On August 24th, 1981, Mark David Chapman was sentenced to 20 years to life in prison for murdering John Lennon. He became eligible for parole in 2000, but has so far been denied, and I'm relieved to report that he's still locked up. On August 24th, 1989, Tadeusz Mazowiecki was the first non-communist prime minister chosen in Central and Eastern Europe. Good job, buddy. Mikhail Gorbachev resigned as the head of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union on August 24th, 1991. Ukraine declared itself independent from the Soviet Union August 24th, 1991. It's beginning to come apart there. The first radio frequency identification, RFID, implantation was tested in the United Kingdom August 24th, 1998. Poor old Pluto. On August 24, 2006, the International Astronomical Union, AIU, redefined the term planet such that Pluto would now be considered a dwarf planet. That's okay, Pluto, honey, you're still a planet in my book. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include the link to my blog page that is called, no really. You can also find me on Rumble, Parler, BitChute, and Getter. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.